And Space Coast Crew in lane 7 nearest to us on screen.
Once again, one of my favorite crew names, Space Coast.
Space Coast. And Space Coast out like a rocket.
On the Starship, no less.
Oh, there you go. No strangers to this Florida water either, so they do seem to be getting out in front in these first initial 10 strokes of the race, and we'd expect nothing less.
Space Coast has a little bit of a lead, but we also have Chicago A, it looks like, that has their nose out there in lane 3. If you look across here, this is one of those great scenes where you can see all of the 8s right there, full contact, just across, all the way across the course.
I know, it's a lot of movement between all of the bodies and the blades. And, you know, something that I look at when I look at this perspective is just how are the knees going up and down together? How are the shoulders moving together? What's the swing like in the crew? And that really gives you some indicators of just like how well they're moving together. Does it look kind of like a metronome, really nice and smooth and consistent? Is there any sort of inconsistency there? And, you know, I feel like this near side crew and that 6 Grudden, that's when you're going to have to really figure out what do you want out of this race.
Yeah, and it looks as though Greenwich has been able to open up a little bit more of a lead over Space Coast. The last 500, that's what's going on. It looks as though Space 500-meter mark.
Yeah, and you know, this is a really interesting push here by Row America Rye as they cross into the last 500 meters. They were a little bit further back in this lead of 3. Space Coast maybe losing a little bit of ground to the move made by Greenwich. So Row America Rye are now about level with Space Coast claiming silver medal, then Row America Rye in 3rd.